The next afternoon I saw a tug, accompanied by the fireboat, coming from the mainland, with a huge barge in tow. Through my glasses, I saw that the barge was filled with meat. Risking the treacherous reefs, the tug dragged the barge as close to the island as possible. To the last rat, our besiegers deserted the rock, swam out, and boarded the barge, reeking with the scent of freshly cut meat. The tug dragged the barge about a mile from shore, where the fireboat drenched the barge with gasoline. A well-placed incendiary shell from the patrol boat set her on fire. The barge was covered with flames immediately, and the rats took to the water in swarms, but the patrol boat bombarded them with shrapnel from a safe distance, and the sharks finished off the survivors. A whaleboat from the patrol boat took us off the island and left 3 men to replace us. By nightfall, we were in the hospital in Cayenne.
1162.
What became of my friends? Well, Legleo's mind had cracked, and he was raving mad. They sent him back to France and locked him up in an asylum, the poor devil. Ichua died within a week. A rat's bite is dangerous in that hot, humid climate, and infection sets in rapidly. As for me, when they fumigated the light and repaired the damage done by the rats, I resumed my service there. Why not? No reason why such an incident should keep me from finishing out my service there, is there? Besides, I told you I liked the place. To be truthful, I've never had a post as pleasant as that one, and when my time came to leave it forever, I tell you that I almost wept as 3 Skeleton Key disappeared below the horizon.
All right. I've had students that say, this story has a tendency to be a little bit almost like anticlimactic at the very end of the story. And I suppose a lot of that depends upon how you predicted this was going to work out. Let's finish at level 1 by just finishing our summary. Ostensibly, this is a 3-part story. Part 1, we get a little bit of information about the setting, and then of course we have the attack of the rats. Can we say it that way? Part 2, we have of course the fight with the rats coming to the very top of the lighthouse, and then finally of course part 3 is the being saved part of the story. By the way, notice that we had to problem solve to be able to figure out how to get all the rats off the island. The easy way to do that is to lure them off the island with the smell of meat, and then of course through fire and the sharks we can get rid of all of these. But notice that the 3 men are going to have each one of them a different effect from this story, and it will only be our narrator who, obviously, because we're in the first-person point of view, let's jot this down at 2B really quickly, because we are in the first-person point of view, any prediction that you made had to include what? Think about this. This is a guy telling the story in the past tense, which tells you what? We know he survived, right? We know that. So it's not a question of, is he going to get away? It's a question of how he gets away. Finally, note the irony. He says, as soon as I was healthy, one of my pals, right, Lagoya is going to lose his mind and go nuts, and of course, the other of the 3, dies from the bites by the rats. But he says, I went back. Why wouldn't I go back? I told you I like this place, which is a bit of an irony. It obviously begs the question, why in heaven's name would you want to go back to a place where you almost got eaten by rats? It says something obviously about him as well, doesn't it? All right, let's jump really quickly to 2B. We've obviously made all kinds of observations, but now let's ask this question. Who is the protagonist in this story? Who is the antagonist in this story? Right? The protagonist, again, usually associated with our storyteller. The antagonists, obviously, are those disgusting rats, no doubt, right? Let's go now to level 3A. What is for you the story that this text most brings to mind? Again, from our own study, we have stories like Most Dangerous Game. I mentioned Edgar Allan Poe. Let's put his name there. And a text called The Pit and the Pendulum. There are rats actually a part of that story, so I would recommend it to you if you are into stories that have this kind of horrifying type of effect. Some students have said you could make a really horrifying or scary movie with this kind of story. with all of those rats. Some students have equated it with that scene from one of the Indiana Jones films. I believe it's the third one, the Search for the Holy Grail one, where they're down underneath and there's rats everywhere, and it's kind of really, really gross and freaky. What is for you the one text that is your rat text? Is there a text where there are rats involved at all, or something akin to this? Maybe it's ravenous dogs or something like that that's kind of really scary and horrifying. At 3B, our obvious question here is, well, what's the scariest situation you've ever been in that somehow equates with this kind of situation, that was a survival situation? Another 3B question, how do you explain him going back? Notice at the very end of the story on 1162, he says, "Besides, I told you, I liked the place, to be truthful. I've never had a post so pleasant as that one, and when my time came to leave it forever, I tell you, I almost wept as 3 skeletons key disappeared below the horizon." Can you explain that? How can you explain the fact that this guy says that he didn't mind this place? Maybe we could make the observation, some people's minds are a little bit stronger than other people's minds, right? Why do you think, for example, that Lagoa died, went crazy? Like, why? What led him to madness? Whereas our narrator, whose name, by the way, notice we never really know, the narrator is able to say, you know, it didn't really bother me. This was just one more adventure, we might say, that I enjoyed. Well, there you go, an introduction to 3 Skeleton Key, a story many of my freshmen have said, I won't soon forget this story. Thank you.